1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, Sky Piercer everywhere. This item has been out for a year, but there are still a lot of people who use it without knowing much about it, because a lot of people say this item is OP, broken, really strong, and it's also cheap, only costs 1500 gold. And the effect from this item is really good, especially considering how cheap it is. But it looks like no matter what hero they're using, everyone just buys Sky Piercer, even if they don't really know what it does, they just buy it because everyone else does. Let me break down Sky Piercer for you real quick for those who still don't get it. Basically, it gives you hybrid attack and works like the execute spell, so whether you're a physical or magic, it'll work for you. That's it, and the passive can be stacked. You already know how to stack it, right? Just get kills, like when I get a kill, I get 10 stacks, and every time I get another kill, it adds 10 stacks. And for every 1 stack, the auto kill threshold goes up 0.1%. So if I have, let's say, 10 stacks, the auto kill threshold is 4% plus 1%. I know it doesn't sound like much, but when you get to 80 stacks, that's an 8% increase. So when the stacks are full, it'll activate at 12% HP, similar to the execute spell. And 12% HP is huge, especially against tanks. Those heroes who are really hard to kill when their HP is at 12% will be easier to kill with Sky Piercer. All you have to do is touch them a little, and they die. That's why a lot of people like to buy this item, because the important thing is, if your enemy is low, they're definitely going to die after you. And you lose 30% of your stack if you die. Yeah, I wanna explain it further. I'm sure you already know that stuff. Or are you still not familiar with items? Are you still copying people's build from here? The point is, with just 1500 gold, you can get an execute spell while other items just give you basic stats. And this item can be used by any hero, but if you ask whether it's effective or not every hero is suited for it. What bothers me is when I see people who don't even know what this item is for, but still insist on using it just because they say the item is OP, like this jungler right here. This is in Mythical Glory, by the way. Even here, there are people who still don't know how to use the item effectively. So here's the thing. If you want Sky Piercer to be OP, you gotta get kills with it first. Like, if I already have a bunch of kills before buying Sky Piercer, those kills don't count towards the stacks. You only get the stacks once you buy the item, got it? Even getting assists won't increase your stacks. But bro, when I use Sky Drill and buy Sky Piercer, it still hurts. I can still get to 80 stacks. It's effective. Yeah, but you're a tank. Why would you steal your teammates' skill? So this item is made for fighters or assassins who usually act as an executors with strong damage but sometimes leave enemies with a little bit of health. So basically, even if your damage isn't enough to kill, Sky Piercer makes sure you don't have that almost moment where they barely survive. And this works whether the enemy has high defense or squishy, because as long as their HP is below the passive threshold, they're gonna die. So can marksmen and mages use Sky Piercer? Yeah, they can, but not all of them are suitable for it. For example, Granger, Roger, Eudora, and Zuzin are good picks for this. Why? Because these guys are strong early on and can easily snowball, but by the mid to late game, their damage tends to fall off. That's where Sky Piercer comes in, because early on those heroes can stack it quickly, and later it can help them finish off enemies when their damage isn't enough. That's the basic idea. Heroes who are strong early on but their damage falls off later in the game are perfect for this item. Now why can Zuzin use Sky Piercer? Her damage isn't crazy, right? She's also not a burst damage hero. Why she's good with it? Well, people who play Zuzin with Sky Piercer mainly want the bonus movement speed to make her harder to catch and easier to chase enemies. The kills are just a bonus. And from the early game, Zuzin already has consistent damage, a wide skill range, and can pull off enemies who try to run. So it still works even though she's not an assassin. Because her skills just fit well with the item, so she can kill escaping enemies as long as her skill is active and the enemy's HP is below the threshold, the enemy will die on their own. Like this one time when these guys who really want to get close to me because they want to be on my video. But because of the extra movement speed from Sky Piercer, they can't catch up to me. Without that speed boost, they would have caught me for sure. So now I'm sure you get why a lot of Zuzin players use Sky Piercer. That means Mia is suited for Sky Piercer too, right? If Zuzin with low damage can use it, then Mia with high damage can definitely use it too, right? Okay, listen to me. Is Mia useful early on? Is her damage enough for teamfights when she doesn't have any item? No, right? Mia doesn't do much damage early on. She needs 1 to 2 items, and sometimes she needs to complete her build before she becomes useful in teamfight. Then just buy it in the late game, bro. Easy. But will the game even last that long? Sometimes matches end under 10 minutes. Like, it's not a problem if you're snowballing in that match, because it's easier to get stacks if you're already far ahead. Do what you want when you're dominating. But if you're not, buying it late doesn't really work, because where are you gonna get the stacks? Your enemies are harder to kill because they probably have full items by then, and you're just wasting an item slot on something that doesn't do much in the late game. What's the point? You'd be better off buying immortality or wind of nature to stay alive and be more useful in teamfights. So in short, buy Skypiercer early if you're playing a hero with quick kill potential from early on, and don't buy it late unless you're already far ahead and you're sure you can still easily kill your enemies. If not, you're just wasting an item slot. And if you're currently losing and your Skypiercer stacks are still or close to 0, it's better to swap it out for something else that fits your situation so you can have a better chance at winning. Like, would you rather just have 40 attack and extra movement speed, or anti-regen, more attack speed and more damage against heroes that have more total HP than you in the late game? When you're facing a team comp that's filled with heroes who rely on their total HP and regen like this, which one is better for you if you're a physical hero? It's obvious the second one, right? You're only gonna waste an item slot if you choose the first one. So if you're behind and your stack are still low, don't force on using Skypiercer. Instead, look for items that can help you survive longer in teamfights or provide more utility for your team, like the situation right here. Imagine you're a jungler in the late game, and your enemies are filled with physical burst heroes who can't stand still and skill dependent. Meanwhile, you're using a build that includes Skypiercer, but you notice that you still don't have any stacks on it. In this situation, you might start to question whether you should keep relying on Skypiercer, hoping to land a kill that will give you those valuable stacks, or if you should switch to something more practical. After all, your damage output has already started to fall off in the mid-game, and the effectiveness of Skypiercer in this scenario may not be impactful as it once was. For me personally, I would make the decision to swap Skypiercer for Antiquirus. Why? Because Antiquirus offers much better survivability against those burst-heavy skill-dependent heroes. And when you're up against enemies who can quickly burst you down, surviving longer is the key to winning fights, because the longer you stay alive, the more time you'll have to deal sustained damage, outlast your opponents, and eventually secure the kills you need. Ultimately, switching to Antiquirus in that situation allows you to still be able to contribute to your team and stay relevant in the late game, even if your damage output isn't as high as it was earlier, because survival becomes a priority in the late game, and with it, your chances of turning the game around increase. And if you really think about it, this item is just okay. It's like, cool, this item's passive gives extra damage, and it can be really good if you use it on certain heroes. But there are other items that can do the same thing, like this adds damage, this adds damage, this also adds damage with movement speed, this one too, and this one gives all of them while also makes you tanky. And I bought all of them. And I can still dominate the game even without Skypiercer. But bro, you're playing Fanny. Okay, here's Granger who usually uses Skypiercer in a lot of his build. See now? But you're just lucky. Shut up. It's essentially the same thing, like Endless Battle can give you 300 extra damage, while Skypiercer can also deliver an execution of 300 damage on some situation. Or with Holy Crystal and its bonus damage, you could potentially reach the same damage output as having Skypiercer. It's essentially doing the same job. Skypiercer is not a must-have item, it's basically the same as other damage items, but this one is the most situational one. So if you want to buy it, it's fine. If not, that's fine too. It's not a must, especially buying it early on. It's not necessary because each hero's damage output is different. Some need levels, some need stacks, some need items, and you also need to know your own role in the team. Like, it doesn't make sense if you're buying Skypiercer as a DPS hero where your job is to poke the enemies until they're low enough for your team to wipe them down. You're just wasting an item slot because you won't get a stack if you do that. But whatever, that's up to you though. Don't blame me if you're still stuck in Epic because you still don't know how items work. So, what do you guys think about this item? Are you going to keep using it in every game despite your situation, or are you gonna be more strategic with your item? The point is, don't buy this item just because you see others using it, or else you'll end up getting called fatherless like this dumbling right here.